Mellow greetings, everybody. My name is James. I am from the internet. And today we're going to see what's going on with the stimulus check you just might be getting, unless you're not getting one. But I mean, supposedly there might be one. And if there is one, you might get one. But then again, there might not be one. If any of this seems confusing, welcome to the mind of Donald Trump, or at least what's left of it. Trump returned to the White House after few days at the hospital, all hopped up on drugs, completely went berserk on Twitter, and as usual, we are back to the country being run on a social media platform, and not, I don't know, where legislators actually craft legislation, because this is 2020 and this is where we're at. So let's take a look at El Presidente's return to the Twitter sphere. Nancy Pelosi is asking for $2.4 trillion to bail out poorly run, high crime Democratic states. Money that is in no way related to COVID 19. We made a very generous offer of $1.6 trillion, and as usual, she is not negotiating in good faith. Right back to where we were a week ago, everybody. I'm going to finish the thread, and then I'm going to show you the 6 crazy pants reasons why this is absolutely horrible. And then we're going to discuss what's actually happening, because, of course, if Donald Trump says one thing is happening, something totally different is happening. Because, again, mind, lost, Swiss cheese, holes in it. Yeah. Hey, cocaine is a hell of a drug. I am rejecting the request and looking forward to the future of our country. I've instructed my representatives to stop negotiating until after the election, when immediately after I win, we will pass a major stimulus bill that focuses on hardworking Americans and small businesses. I've asked Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to not delay, but to instead focus full time on approving my outstanding nominee to the United States Supreme Court. Our economy is doing very well. The stock market is at record level. Jobs and unemployment also coming back in record numbers. We are leading the world in economic recovery, and the best is yet to come. Huzzah! So, there's a lot to unpack there. I'm gonna take it from the end and work our way backwards, okay? Number one, the stock market is at record level. Jobs and unemployment are also coming back in record numbers. Really? Unemployment is also coming back in record numbers, and we're celebrating that? Really? Really? Okay. What else do we got here? The best is yet to come. Uh, Listen, God willing, you get voted out of office, and I don't know about the best is yet to come, but it certainly can't go any further downhill. So, Trump's tremendous United States Supreme Court choice. As we know, Amy Coney Barrett has a few issues, and it'll be wild to see if Trump can even get enough of the Senate Judiciary Committee together to make this nomination lurch forward before Election Day. Also, here, the stock market is not at record levels. So, if we get past all that, this is pretty much the meat. Pelosi's asking for 2.4 trillion. Trump has a very generous offer of 1.6 trillion on the table, and as usual, she is not negotiating in good faith. That's what we're going with right now. Okay, you ready? Let's blow some more holes in this. Number one, here is the current Democratic $2.2 trillion stimulus deal. Not 2.4 trillion, 2.2 trillion. Updated Heroes Act provides another round of stimulus payments up to $1,200 to individuals, basically the same as the first round of stimulus checks. $600 enhanced unemployment benefits, also what we had until the initial act expired. The bill would also extend pandemic unemployment assistance, which specifically covers business owners, self-employed Americans, gig workers, and independent contractors who are not typically eligible for unemployment through January 2021. I thank you. The bill also includes housing assistance, which is $4 billion to public housing agencies, including $1 billion for vouchers for those who are homeless, as well as anybody fleeing domestic violence. Allocates $5 billion for homeless assistance, $50 billion for emergency assistance to low-income renters, and $100 million to the Neighborhood Reinvestment Corporation to support housing counselors in providing increased services, including foreclosure and eviction mitigation counseling. I'm still waiting to see what's horrible in this deal that Trump thinks it's just vile. Democrats earmarked $225 billion for education. A large part of that includes $182 billion for kindergarten through 12th grade and $39 billion for higher education, including colleges and universities. Unlike the Republican bill proposed in July, this funding is not tied to whether a school chooses to reopen in person. Additionally, the bill would provide $57 billion to support childcare for families, a significant increase from the $7 billion the previous HEROES Act provided and the $15 billion the Republican package is proposing. Democrats are also proposing to extend the suspension of federal student loan payments through September 2021. Paycheck Protection Program, which we already had, Worker Protection and Job Security, which is strong enforceable OSHA standard for people working during the time of a pandemic, and proposed protections that stop Americans from losing health insurance if they're laid off. I don't see where this is like a horrible cash grab. The updated HEROES Act allocates $10 million to support an increase to maximum benefits for those participating in SNAP so that kids can eat. So, to start with, Donald Trump said she's asking for $2.4 trillion, but she's actually asking for $2.2 trillion. Also, she's not asking for the money to bail out poorly run high-crime Democratic states, but rather to all states because they're a federal program, kind of how that works. Now, Trump says, in rebuttal to that, we've made a generous offer of $1.6 trillion. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Latest White House coronavirus relief, $1.6 trillion, received a cool reception from Republicans. New offer from Steve Mnuchin, which exceeds the original package, and the 1.5 the White House signaled it would support last month, was made as part of a renewed talk this week with Democratic leaders. But Republicans, including influential chairmen and members of leadership, are warning they can't support it. Asked about the prospect of supporting the $1.6 trillion measure, Senate Finance Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley was direct. No. Others said they want to see the details for a $1.6 trillion package, but acknowledged that it was more than they would want to spend. So we made a very generous offer of $1.6 trillion. I don't think we would be the Republicans. We would be you and Steve Mnuchin in a private conversation with Nancy Pelosi. Now, if this highly inaccurate tweet and thread seems normal to you or on par for El Presidente, I would like to remind you that the day before, this is what his Twitter feed looked like. Rambling, blathering, all caps, looking like a goddamn ransom note. Stock market highs, vote. Strongest ever military, vote. Law and order, vote. Religious liberty, vote. Religious liberty? Really? Really? Boy, wait till I introduce you to about, 3 billion Muslim people. We'll see how hype you are in religious liberty after that. Massive regulation cuts, vote. Space Force, vote. Like, look at this. This is unhinged, right? So you tie that with this, and it turns out that Trump's steroid treatment for COVID-19 has a very bad potential side effect. Would you care to know what that is? On the heels of reading his totally sane and not abnormal Twitter feed? Let's see. The steroid that is recommended for severe cases of the illness comes with risks of serious side effects, including mood swings, aggression, and confusion, because that's what Trump needs, to be more aggressive and more confused. Woo! So what happens after Donald Trump puts all that blather out into the Trumpy blather sphere? Well, the stock market crashed 600 points to end the day on the heels of all of these people who own all these stocks and all these corporations hearing that there wasn't going to be an immediate cash injection into the general shopping and spending public. 600 points. And just like that, Lieutenant Dan, it was gone. Gone, Lieutenant Dan. 600 points. That's what it looked like. Once again, proving that the stock market is not an indicator of the economic health of the nation, but rather a EKG for the emotional health of the 10,000 wealthiest people in America. That's really all that is. Oh, it's so goddamn arbitrary. So 10 hours after announcing that he wasn't going to make any deals and was going to leave everybody to hang until after the election, assuming that he won, then he would pass it. Totally not like a ransom, negotiation or anything. Totally not like a hostage swap. No, not at all. So 10 hours after that, and 5 hours after crashing the stock market, if I'm sent a standalone bill for stimulus checks, $1,200, they will go out to our great people immediately. I am ready to sign it right now. Are you listening, Nancy? What happened to you weren't going to negotiate anymore? There wasn't going to did you did, did you did you miss this? Like we all saw it. Do you not remember it? I understand it was like, you know, a solid 8 hours before the last one, but really? No? No? Um, Donald Trump is going to continue saying wacky stuff, making loud proclamations, loudly decrying things, and generally bloviating as much as possible to keep you off your toes. It's a very simple strategy called bamboozle them with bullshit. And he is one of the undisputed masters. And if you don't believe me, I will leave you with this question. How many days has it been since you've heard a story about Donald Trump being okay with white nationalist organizations? How many days has it been since you've read about Donald Trump lying on his taxes and writing off $70,000 for professional hair care and $800,000 for a consulting fee to his daughter who already works for him to buy a hotel that the Trump organization was already buying? How many days has it been since you've heard about those things? It's been a hot minute. There you go. Even Donald Trump on a bad day is still going to find some place of opportunity. So just remember, it doesn't matter how many drugs he's on, what his state of health is, what polling numbers say. Don't consider him stupid. Never count him out. Don't underestimate him. He is still a very, very dangerous man.